early testers of routes made a lot of mistakes. We just really didn't know any better. I'm going to tell you 5 of them. The first one I did twice. I made routes around lakes. The lakes, you only have spawn points on the side opposite the lake. You don't get spawn points on the lake. And so that limits where you can find Zygarde cells. That was a major flaw, and I have since made a video about this to make sure other people stop creating these routes. The next one is creating routes in very dense game areas. It may seem really fun to play in these areas, but it's really hard to see if a Zygarde cell pops up if you're near a lot of Pokestops and gyms and spawns. I mean, look at that. How are you supposed to spot a Zygarde cell? Another mistake we made, because we didn't realize Zygarde cells were going to spawn at the end of routes, was putting the end in either a very dense area or a hard-to-reach area because of pedestrian or vehicular traffic. Don't put them there. You can't see Zygarde cells. A lot of people created driving routes, especially in my area. It's very hot, and they didn't think ahead. They didn't put them where you could pull over safely to start the route on your phone and to start driving again. And you really need to put the starting and ending location in safe spots if it's a driving route. To continue with safety, I came across this route right here, and the road was closed. I couldn't go through the parking lot. They had completely torn up the parking lot. I ended up having to go and park somewhere and then walk the rest of the route. Unfortunately, this wasn't the intent of the person that made the route. They expected you to do the entire thing in your car. And here I am walking through the middle of a parking lot because there are no sidewalks. I'm crossing this busy intersection that has no crosswalk and no stop sign. And then I get to this area and it's a construction zone. Everything on my right and most of what's on my left is construction. And so I'm walking through the middle of a parking lot because I have no other choice. Whenever you're creating a driving route, think about how somebody on foot is going to access this route. Maybe they don't have a car. Maybe something's going to close due to construction. Please keep this in mind when creating driving routes. I also got to this point here. It's an extremely busy intersection, and they ended the route on the other side of the intersection, and I waited at the intersection hoping I didn't have to cross the street, but the route wouldn't end. And so I had to walk across this busy intersection to get it to end. I created the perfect route, and I have found a Zygarde cell here every first time I try in a day. This one starts by a gym, but there's nothing else really around, not a lot of spawn points. It is in a parking lot. You can safely pull to the side, start it on your phone, get it going. You can drive around this route, which happens to be a one-way street, and it's in a park. It's just one fantastic drivable route that you can also walk if you want to. But you can see there are very few spawn points around this route. The spawn points for Zygarde cells are very visible as you're driving. And the end point, it's very open. I go towards the Pokestop. It always spawns at the end. There's nothing there to interfere with it. And then I pull into this parking lot and end the route.